You're listening to the Back Home Network, presented by Home Field Apparel.
Right up Meridian, baby.
All right, folks, welcome back. Right Up Meridian, off for a couple weeks, but we are on right before the eclipse, so I hope you're enjoying your eclipse day. Tony, how you doing, my friend?
Good. Yeah, we had spring breaks back to back where we weren't able to record there, but it's been a pretty good couple weeks here for the Pacers since we last spoke, so that's positive direction, obviously with the big win last night. So excited to talk some Pacers hoops.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty good couple of weeks. They've continued to do what they do, which is they play really well against good teams and still kind of play poorly against bad teams. Last night was things got interesting because that was a huge win. I'm not sure that was actually a foul on Pascal Siakam on Tyler Hero. That was a wild, little touch, he barely touched him. Anyway, Pacers won, big game. They had to win. We're going to talk about where it fits in the seedings. The tough thing is you wake up this morning, it's like, all right, they have a good shot at the 6th seed. And then you look up, it's like, oh, no, it's not the Cavs anymore. It's the Magic in the 3 seed, which is maybe the worst matchup for the Pacers, in my mind, of the teams available.
Yeah, it's threading the needle right now of where you want to be, because you don't want to fall into the play-in. You don't really want to, if you do happen to win a first-round series, you don't really want to play Boston in the second round. Right. The Magic aren't a great matchup. So it's just if you're a Pacers fan, you're really trying to thread a needle right here to where you want to be. But fun nonetheless to track, especially it's nice to be in these conversations. It's been a while as Pacers fans. So
let's kind of pick up where we're at. So the Pacers now sit with that win against the Heat. They are 45-34. They're in the 6th seed. They're a game ahead of the – it changes all the time. It's no longer the Heat you got to worry about. They're a game ahead of the 76ers, a game and a half ahead of the Heat. They are a game behind the Cavs and a game and a half behind the Knicks and the Magic. And honestly, only 2.5 games behind the Bucks, which is wild. So let's go through kind of each of the teams, their remaining schedule, and let's see what we think, where they may or may not stand. I'm going to pull up the playoff probabilities real quick. Let me log into this. Tony, what do you think? Where's your ideal seed for the Pacers?
To me, I mean, obviously, if they can get the 3, great. But that's probably not going to happen. A lot would have to go the Pacers' way to get the 3. I like them in the 6, but as we noted, it's no longer the Cavs or the Knicks that they're playing. The Knicks, no Julius Randle now. Right. That wouldn't be a terrible matchup to play in the first round. But the Magic, the Pacers haven't played well against the Magic all season. Like you said, it's not a great team that they match up against. But I like them in the 6 for the sheer standpoint of you do avoid Boston in round 2 if you do make it out of the first round. So I like that aspect of it, of that 6. But if you squeak to that 5 and you move Cleveland down and you're playing the Knicks, that again, you've got a good opportunity there to win that. Whether they're playing the Knicks or the Cavs, I feel pretty good in the first round. Then now it could be, did the Magic go up to the 2 seed and the Bucks get the 3 seed? I don't necessarily love that, even though the Pacers were 16-0 against the Bucks this season.
Yeah.
Just a lot to play out.
Yeah, I mean, the Pacers are right now, they have a 42% chance of getting the 6th seed, the highest probability for them and anybody in that spot. And then it's a jumbled mess above it. Orlando, Cleveland, New York, they're 20% all to get the 3, 4, or 5 seeds. And then below them, the Sixers and the Heat are 37 to 40% to get the 7 and 8. So it's really kind of all over the board. Let's look at the schedules for teams starting with the Pacers. So remaining schedules, you're at Toronto, you're at Cleveland, you're home for Atlanta. You would like to think that's a 2-1 schedule, although as we know with this Pacers team, they have real hard time with teams that are not playing well. But you would assume that's going to put the Pacers at 2-1. Would you say?
I think so. I think that's a safe assumption to make, or best. If you were putting probabilities on, I'd say that'd be their best probability.
Okay, so let's go to the Heat. And by the way, you saw something with the. I mean, we'll see it, but like the Pacers looked almost in playoff mode last night. Like they looked a little different. Like Nesmith was definitely playing better than he had before. Siakam looked fired up. Halliburton's like growing his hair out. Like he's got like the playoff dude going. But I will just say this. It looked like they kind of had locked in a little more than they had against some of those Nets games. Like other games, like it makes me feel like maybe they're looking like, all right, like this is really the final stretch, which I mean, way to wait to the very end. But there's something about the way they played last night that makes me think 2-1 isn't completely off the table for them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 3-0. Like, they're like you said, their remaining schedule is you've got what, Raptors, Cavs, and
Hawks.
Hawks, yeah. So like 3-0 isn't out of the realm of possibility for them. I think 2-1 makes a lot of sense, just given some of the up and down nature of the team. But you look at the Raptors that I don't know are they still on that long losing streak or did they finally win one? But they had lost 15 in a row.
Yeah, I know. They've won some things. They've won 2 in a row. So, gotcha. But yeah, they've been on a long streak. So we're going to play this out and try and see where this fits in based on our projections. So that puts the Pacers finishing the year at 47-35. Not a bad record. I win my over-under for the season. Let's go, Scott. All right. The Heat. Of course, the Heat have the easiest schedule, it seems like. They're added 3 of the 4 teams they play are just completely dead and unavailable. Although they end this week with a back-to-back, which is nice. So they're at Atlanta. Then the next day they got to go home to play Dallas, and then come on, Miami, home for 2 games against the Raptors, who are just like already, like you said, they've won 2 in a row. But like they've lost 14 in a row. They're checked out. It's their last trip. They're going to be in Miami. It's like they're going to be partying. So I look at the Heat going winning 3 or 4 of those matchups, probably losing the back-to-back home against Dallas. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 makes a lot of sense. Although they're a weird one. The Heat are kind of like the Pacers, where like they're so unpredictable, where like they could go lose to the Hawks here tomorrow or something weird. But yeah, I think 3-1 makes sense for them.
All right, so if we give them 3, that gives them 46 and 36. So they finished the season 1 game behind the Pacers. All right, next up we have the Philadelphia 76ers with Joel Embiid, who's kind of back, like kind of trying.
He's there.
All right, he's there.
Get minutes.
Home games Tuesday, Friday, Sunday. They're playing home against the Pistons, the Magic, and the Nets. I mean, I think this is all going to we're going to kind of chalk these out as like what we would expect them to be. So we would assume they would go 2-1, losing to the Magic. That Magic game, I don't know. Like maybe they go 3-0. Talk me through this.
Yeah, I'm trying to look and see what have they done against the Magic previously this year. That's a tough one. Because like on paper, the Magic should win that, but like reality, it's like they got Embiid back. I don't know. I might give the Sixers 3-0.
Okay. That's not ideal because that puts them at 47-35, which is the exact same record as the Pacers. What is our tiebreak again? What is our record against the Sixers this year?
Were we 2-1 or were we 1-1?
We won 1, we lost 1. I'm looking at it right now.
And we tied 1.
And we won, yeah. And we won we played them 4 times. So we're 3-1. And why are we 3-1? Where's the other 76ers game?
We won November the 12th.
Yep.
Or no, we lost November the 12th. We won November the 14th. And then we
won on the 25th.
January 25th. So we're 2-1.
Okay. Don't you play every East Coast team 4 times?
Just your division.
Just your division. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
All right, so 2-1. So we'd have the tiebreak against them. So, so there we go. We're doing this real time. We're doing this live. I had a computer complete malfunction before the pod, so that's why it's not perfect. All right, so we'd be ahead of the Pacers. We'd be in the 6th seed. Okay, I like that. Let's see what's going to happen above us. So above us, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let me pull up their
we have a game against them, which we Did we surmise that we would lose that one?
Yeah, yeah. So they are playing. They're all home. They're home the whole way through. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. The Grizzlies, the Pacers, and the Hornets. I mean, that could be a 3-0 for them too.
Could be. They're also on a 3-game losing streak and
Yeah.
got boat raced by the Lakers on Saturday. So we basically gave them the win against us, and then Charlotte's god awful. They're going to beat them, and Memphis is god awful. So yeah, I think we kind of have to give them.
Oh no, 3-0. Sorry,
3-0. But man, they haven't won 3 in a row in like 2 months.
I mean, do we want to flip?
Maybe we gave the Pacers a win against the Cavs, but a loss against like the Hawks. So the Pacers still 2-1, but that's with the win against the Cavs, and then the Cavs 2-1.
Yeah, because it might be at the end we might be locked into that 6 seed. Looking at this, because even if we beat the Cavs, we're still going to be a game behind them based on our schedule. So all right, let's do that. I should have like 5 more Excel sheets open. We're having a lot of stuff going on here.
All right up here in the noggin.
Yeah, I know you're just doing this completely off the dome. It's fantastic. All right, next up we're gonna have the New York Knicks. Let me pull up their remaining schedule.
So they've got
you're talking too
Celtics,
fast, man. Like
Nets,
you're
Bulls.
All right.
Or no, 2 Bulls.
Yep.
They
play Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So they have a back-to-back Thursday, Friday. That sucks, by the way. NBA, don't have back-to-backs the last week of the season. Like, let teams, it's bananas. At Chicago, at the Celtics, home to the Nets on a back-to-back, and then the Bulls at home. So you're playing the Bulls twice. I don't know, man. I mean, because the Celtics have everything wrapped up, but they're still playing.
They do,
hard.
but they're just so much better than
So I mean, 3-1 against that group. What do you think?
That would make the most sense, but again, they're without just recently had a 3-game losing. One of the losses was to the Spurs. They lost to Miami. They just recently lost to Chicago Friday. They got 2 more.
Yeah.
I love how they making the schedule like, oh shit. The Knicks have to play the Bulls. They play the Bulls 3 times in a week.
I know. 2-2. The Bulls are frightening. I mean, we've lost to them. We can make them 2-2. That makes it a little more interesting.
I think 2-2. I think they'll lose another one to Chicago.
Okay. So that is going to move our Cavs up and move the Knicks down. So 6. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. We're going to put the seeds here. So that moves the Knicks into the 5 and the Cavs into the 4, which really doesn't totally matter. All right. Let's look at the Magic remaining schedule. Do you have it up?
I do. Rockets, at the Bucks on a back-to-back, at the 76ers, and against the Bucks.
Oh. Whew.
That's a tough one.
That is really tough. And they haven't played the Bucks yet, so we don't even know what they play like against the Bucks. I don't even know what the Bucks are going to be fighting for spots too. I mean,
yeah, and their one at the Bucks is the second out of a back-to-back.
I mean, they could go 1-3 in that.
I think they do.
What did we? This is awesome. I love this. What did we have the Sixers Magic game?
We had the Sixers. We had the Sixers beating them, right?
Yeah, I mean, so that gets them 1-3. Let's do it.
1-3 for the Magic. I like it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're 6-4 in their last 10. They've been playing well though. Like, but let's make them 1-3.
Perfect.
Oh god, this is gonna put me in like that puts them tied with the Pacers, by the way.
They've got the tiebreaker, right?
Do they? Yeah, they've beaten us.
I know they've beaten us at least twice. I think we've only played 3 times.
Okay, so that makes the Magic the 5 seed. It brings the Cavs back to the 3 seed. And then the Bucks, well, we have the Bucks like they're going to be, well, hold on. Because the Bucks, we have them winning both the games against the Magic.
The Bucks? Yes.
So then the other 2 games are the Celtics and the Thunder. Whew. So they're playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So they have a back-to-back home. They're home to the Celtics, home to the Magic back-to-back, and then they play at Oklahoma City and at Orlando.
Damn.
I don't think they win both those Magic games.
Yeah, 1-1.
So but that takes the Magic.
No, I think we gave the Magic 1-1.
Did
right?
we?
Yeah, we gave them 1-3. Their one win against the Bucks.
Okay. So, I mean, they go 1-1 against the Magic, and then, I mean, I think they go 1-1 at Oklahoma City. Let's make them 2-2 in that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that's a tough run. So that makes them 49-33 as well. So now it's what's the tiebreak between the Bucks and the Cavs? This is real life podcasting, folks. This is
the Cavs are 3-7 in their last 10. We gave them 3-1 to down the stretch, or 2-1 down the stretch.
Yeah.
So that would give them, the Cavs would have 48 wins, right?
I have the Cavs at 49 wins.
So they've got, did we give them 3-0 against us, the Grizzlies and the Hornets?
So the Cavs currently have 46 wins. So yeah, we made them 3-0. That seem a little too much?
Maybe. I mean, just the last 10 are 3-7. So that for them to just like reel off 3 straight.
I mean, dude, that would they also have 2. They've won 2 of 3. Oh no, they're 2-2 versus the Bucks. So we'd have to, I don't even know what the next tiebreak is.
It's like your division record or something. They're not in the same division, are they?
They are not. No, they are. So the Bucks.
Yeah, they're in the central. Yeah. So it's like your division record.
So the division record is the Bucks are 10-7 right now. The Cavs are 10-5.
So then it would go back to these games.
I mean, yeah. So who knows? All right. So, I mean, who knows? So all this said, we've spent 20 minutes of your time to come up with nothing. It's going to be really hard to figure this out. Like it's really tough. I don't see a world where the Pacers are getting out of the 6th seed. I see them locked into the 6th seed. But I mean, I see a world where they could still drop to the 7. Like that's where that win yesterday was. It did a lot, but it didn't lock them into the 7. Or sorry, it didn't lock them into the 6. They could still drop. Right. I'm not sure they can move up much. And to your point, I still like that 6 spot because the 4 and the 5, you're playing the 1 in the second round. And I think the Celtics are a really good team. Like I think they're going to the NBA Finals. So
yes, I think they're winning the NBA Finals if we're going that far. But definitely the favorite to get out of the East. I mean, they're so much better than everybody else.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not even sure the Pacers get a game against them.
They have a 15-game lead in the conference.
I know. I would like if you're looking at dream scenarios, it would probably be this one right here that we came up with, where the Cavs with the 3 seed again, the Pacers stay in the 6. The Pacers are somehow able to shock the Cavs and then, give the Bucks a real tight series. Like to me, that's the ultimate great scenario for a great postseason run for the Pacers.
And honestly, I mean, the Bucks will play possibly the Sixers. I mean, that's the Sixers with an Embiid in the first round. Like, I don't necessarily know if the Bucks get out of the first round.
Yeah, that would be. Then they're going to fire another coach, like 4 coaches in 12 months.
I'm in. I'm here for the chaos.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's the play-in scenario. Like, that's all crazy to me too. Because you've got right now it'd be Sixers Heat for the 7 seed. And that is who we have playing probably the Bucks. Either of those teams, man. If I'm the Bucks, I'm not super thrilled about having to play the Sixers or the Heat in the first round.
No, you don't want to play the Heat again. And you have the Sixers with an Embiid. I don't know if it's a healthy Embiid, but an Embiid back is not ideal. And then, I mean, honestly, like I don't, if I'm, this is why the Pacers need to stay in that 6th spot. Like they've got to win a couple of these games. I think we're showing how tight this all is, because then you drop down. It's like, dude, the Bulls and the Hawks, the Bulls, we saw it. Like DeRozan is one of the best clutch players in the last 4 months. Like he literally is fantastic in the clutch. The Bulls are in all of these tight games. They're not a team that I want to see I wouldn't mind playing them in a series. They're not a team I want to see in a one-game shootout. Like,
No.
I just don't want to touch them. And same with the Hawks. Like, I don't think the Hawks are good. I think we could beat them, but it's one of those where it's like a tournament game. Like, I don't want Trey to get hot, and then it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, just like puts up a 50 burger or something silly, and then you're sitting at home.
Yeah.
That would be horrible. That's certainly worst case scenario.
So I think what we've shown here is there's a lot of options here. I think that what the Pacers need to do is it goes very simple. Just need to go out and win these games. They need to not have a tough time against the tough teams. You know, the Cavs game is going to be tough. That's also going to be a preview of possibly a playoff series. But I think definitely, you know, as you look at it, you're playing the Raptors, you're playing the Hawks. You've got to just win those games. And I think you've got to win them a little more convincingly than they've done in the past. Although the Pacers haven't had 3 wins in a row since mid-February. And that was the Raptors, the Pistons, and the Mavs. So it's been a hot minute, too, for the Pacers. And even go back past that, it was January the last time they won 3 in a row, and 2 of those were against the Wizards and the Hawks. So it's like this is where the Pacers need to start kind of figuring it out, locking it in, looking a little more like the playoff Pacers.
Absolutely. It was funny. My dad's not an NBA guy, but we were over at their house yesterday, and so I turned the game on, and it was the first time he'd seen that court, and he was like, When did the Pacers change their logo? When did they like, welcome to like October, Dad.
Yeah. Did you try and explain the in-season tournament to him?
He kind of got that, but yeah. And then like my aunts and uncles were over and like, wait, what? And then it was a whole thing.
I'm just surprised they have Bally's at your parents' house, or do they still have cable?
Oh, they don't. I had to sign in with mine.
I'm so excited that happens next year. Like, I hope to get rid of Bally's.
We're so close. We're so close.
I know, we're so close. All right, man. Well, I think that's good for now. Let's circle back. Let's try and do another pod end of the week when we have a little more clarity. Maybe after where we at? That Cavs game is Friday. Maybe like try to get something on before the Hawks game. See where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we'll go through the same exercise.
Yeah, I mean, no, it could. We'll get a little bit more, but we'll see. We're going to do a couple more, and we're gonna step up the podcast as the playoffs
Yeah,
go on.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's been a long time coming for Pacers fans, man. Being in this situation.
It has, and I think it's not fully back, but it does feel like Halliburton is getting back to mostly full strength. I mean, there was definitely some injury issues, but it does feel like he's starting to come back. They're starting to feel like they understand how to add Siakam a little better. Like, things are starting to kind of come together. I don't think this is the best version of the team. I think we'll see that next year, but it does. I don't know. From what you've seen, does it feel like Halliburton is somewhat back from where he was at?
I think so, for sure. I mean, just his shooting touch is certainly been better the last week or whatever the case is. And then, like you said, working Siakam in how they have has been a big positive. And then their defense has been a lot better the last month or so, or maybe even more. They had that game against the Lakers last week where they held them to 90. Like, that was unheard of for this Pacers team. And so they're in the playoffs. Defense is going to be far and away much more important than it is regular
don't say
season.
that, because we're not good at
that. But we're getting better. So like the fact that you at least have some confidence that you can get some stops and string some stops together, and you've got a guy in Siakam that can guard multiple positions and wings and stuff. Like, it makes me feel a little bit better about the Pacers' chances in the playoffs when things kind of tighten up. They know every move you're going to make, every set you're going to run. The fact that they're getting better on the defensive end is a positive.
Yep. All right, Tony, I appreciate it. We will have you on again. We'll be on together here in a little bit. But I want to thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And for Tony, this is Scott for the Right Up Meridian podcast, signing off.